I have a disability called cervical spondylitis. It's the disc rubbing against the base of the spine that caused the irritation and the pain. I worked at the council when I was diagnosed with this, and I had to take early retirement. So I said, but I'm only 45. What do I do? You'll get your pension, you'll get your lump sum, go away. I went back to college, I did an A-level in history. I went to a meeting on disability, and I was so interested that I went to the presenter afterwards and I said, if you're setting up a steering group, please put my name forward. And I sat on various panels for disability, health, social care, transport for disabled people.
I lost my sight 16 years ago, and up to then I worked in a school kitchen preparing school meals. This little boy in particular were coming through for his lunch, and he said, "Miss, can't you see?" And I said, "Of course I can see." He said, "Well, you've just poured the custard on the counter and not on my sponge." And I thought, wait till I get my new glasses, that custard will be on that sponge. But unfortunately, I never got the glasses, because within a couple of months I was registered partially blind, and then after that I was totally blind. At first it was really hard, because when a consultant says to you there's nothing they can do, you still think you've got to be wrong. You've got it wrong. There's got to be something they can do. I'd have gone to the moon if there were a cure. I'll never forget my youngest daughter. She says to me, "Well, it's only your eyes that have gone, Mum, not your hands." I said, "You've still got your hands, so why don't you do something with your hands?" So I went to college and did aromatherapy massage, and I carried on doing that in the community.
But the lady I'm sat next to is also involved with some work that I'm doing for High Crags Primary School in Shipley. And what it's doing is creating disability awareness to the children. And I think, Linda, you will agree that we've really enjoyed ourselves doing that. It's been fantastic. I think the innocence of children, if you can get rid of the stigma of disability. Yeah.
I mean, the questions, what they ask, like they go, "Does your dog know what time you want to get up?" And I think, right, don't forget, some of these are only 5. And I go, "Yeah." And they go, "But how? How does he know? Can he tell the time?" And I go, "No, but when my alarm clock goes off, he gets up, so he knows it's time for him as well." They go, "All right. You don't say to him then 8 o'clock. I said, "No, because he doesn't know his numbers." But I always think with humour, it gets over.
Definitely.
If I'd have just said it as in a starchy, I don't know, if I just said, "Well, I do this and this is called this," and use really big jargon words, I don't think they'd have grasped it.
No.